like your birthday, yeah, it's only right. Party like your team just won the gold tonight. Party with your people, make a toast tonight. Tonight we celebrating life and healing. Oh, oh, oh. Tonight we dancing and we losing all control. Oh, oh. Tonight we living in the moment, here we go. Oh, oh. And it ain't over till the morning goes. Oh, oh. What a night. What a night. What a party. Party. Party, 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 party. You couldn't wait to get away. Party if you with your best friends today. Party to the owners that we here to stay. Let's just party till the morning, baby, it's okay. Tonight we celebrating life and healing. Oh, oh, oh. Tonight we dancing and we losing all control. Oh, oh. Tonight we living in the moment, here we go. Oh, oh. And it ain't over till the morning goes. Oh, oh, oh. What a night. What a night. What a party. What a party. What a party. What a night.
lost.
mind now. We don't mind now. No, we don't mind it. Love, 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 love.
Carriamo tutti elevator, ci namin yung caro, similaro caro. Yo, ma se tu non li mi atate, still be great come a break man. Cause brevity, your brevity, your smile, you put your stay, tu sogna, mi naro capirlai, ma lo bicchiere, oh, bicchiere. Si elevator, ci namin yung caro, similaro caro. Yo, ma se tu non li mi atate, still be great come a break man. Cause brevity, your smile, you put your stay, tu sogna, mi naro capirlai, ma lo bicchiere, oh, bicchiere.
Ourselves in the presence of the Lord, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Father, we offer everything and thank you for everyone gathered here today to walk with you. May we ask for you for your blessings and guidance so that the activities set for this undertaking be successful. We ask you to open our eyes to the wonderful things from this activity. We ask that you to open our ears so that we may retain the invaluable knowledge. Open our minds for us to think wisely. Put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love, and open our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Magis Morning Ateneo, we will be your host for today. I'm Azalee.
And I'm Mac.
And today we will be having our service learning activity with the theme Success Stories Overcoming the Pandemic.
One of the aim of this activity is to help the micro, small, and medium enterprise in this time of pandemic, especially in the terms of tourism industry in Naga City and Camarines Sur. The students will be supplying knowledge, concepts, and principles related to operation strategy, productivity, total quality management, product and service, design, and logistic strategies. While the participants of the service learning activity will be sharing their success stories on the perspective of operations and management.
Without further ado, let's welcome the Dean of Orgulyo Kan Naga University Graduate School and the Director of the Center for Local Governance. Let's all welcome Dr. Malu Barciliano for the opening remarks. Let's all give her a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our viewers who are watching us via the Ateneo CLG YouTube channel and the Ateneo CLG FB account, as this activity is being streamed live through the platforms mentioned. I am pleased to welcome you all to our webinar entitled Success Stories, Overcoming the Pandemic with Ms. BJ Veluz De Asis, Project Evaluation Officer 2 of the Metro Naga Public Employment Service Office, or PESO, of the Local Government Unit of Naga City, and Ms. Mitz Culvera, Digital Marketing Expert of Orgulyo Kan Naga, as resource speakers respectively. We are also being joined by some of our micro, small, and medium enterprises, namely Jaela's Pastries with Sunny Korean Egg Drop and Taco Brothers, Bicol Pasabay, Bushar Bicol Fat Boys Restaurant, Boti and Company, Witches Brewing, Adriana's Naga, Iriga, Pili, and Orgulyo Kan Naga, Tea Vengers Tea, Comer, IA Ferrer Construction and Supply with Partido Construction and Supply and Think Coffee, Salad Treats, both Legazpi and Naga branches, and Heart Company. This COVID-19 pandemic has brought significant change to our lives and business activities. Many households and businesses were disrupted. In the case of MSMEs, the majority are still temporarily closed and are operating at decreased capacity, which is an indicator of the difficulties they are facing in getting back to their business operations. A recent study conducted by the United Nations Development Program revealed that MSMEs comprise 99.5% of business establishments in the Philippines and are employing approximately 63% of the country's workforce. In the past years, MSMEs were responsible for 40% of the country's gross domestic product. And during the second quarter of 2020, and almost 4 months since the community quarantine was put in place, the country's GDP sank to 16.5% as the Philippines experienced recession due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As we all observe, MSMEs continue to suffer from disrupted cash flow and income losses. To address the adverse impacts of this COVID-19 pandemic, they started implementing adaptive business measures. Among them are digitalization or online platforms for their business transactions, cost reduction, diversification of products and services, utilization of non-cash payment options, and allowing employees to work from home. However, despite these adaptive measures, the majority of the MSMEs still need assistance to recover from their losses. Considering that MSMEs play a crucial role in the Philippines' efforts to recover from the crisis brought about by this pandemic, assistance and support are to be given to them, not only by the government, but by its development partners. There should be effective policies and programs that are responsive to our MSMEs' immediate and long-term needs to be in place. This morning, we shall all learn how our MSMEs continue to thrive amidst this pandemic. We shall also be getting significant inputs from our invited resource speakers relative to how our MSMEs will be assisted and or supported to sustain their operations in this challenging time and respond to the future call. And may I share with you this statement from Maria Teresa Rillo Alegrio, the Assistant Vice President for Mindanao of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. As mentioned, it's really difficult for MSMEs to comply with safety and health standards, but then we need to survive. Therefore, if we really want to continue, we just have to adjust to those levels and think of innovative ways of how we can manage this disruption. With this, I formally welcome you all to this activity. Again, marhay na aga sa Indoga Boss.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Dr. Malu Barciliano, for welcoming us in this service learning activity. Right now, as Ma'am Malu said, there are a lot of challenges that have happened because of this pandemic. But there are also businesses who have strived hard and has an inspiring stories to share due to the fact that even though the pandemic started, they were able to conquer those challenges through them. So right now, let us first introduce the participants that we are going to that will be joining with us today.
We would like to acknowledge the presence of our speakers. First, let's welcome Ms. Janelle Veneracion from Joella's Pastries, Sunny Korean Egg Drop, and Taco Brothers.
We also have Martel and Anjo Buenafe of Bicol Pasabay.
Jan Christine Atienza from Bukiar Bicol, FCOA, and Fat Boys Restaurant.
Maria Danica Faye Manalili of Bow Tea and Co.
And also, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the other sharers as well. We have Miss Christine Karelim Diman from Repmon,
Jen Kirby Tabora of Adriana.
Jubilee de la Vega from Tea Ventures Tea Corner,
Ian Ferrer of IA Ferrer Construction and Supply, Partido Construction and Supply, and Think Coffee.
Lovely Joy Arao from Salad Treats Legazpi Branch.
We also have Kathleen May Brugada of Salad Treats Naga City Branch.
And last but definitely not the least, we have Miss Adeline Vargas Almelor from Heartco.
So sila po ang mga kasama natin ngayon, and yung iba sa kanila, makakasama rin natin to share their own personal stories. So partner, by the way, how was your Valentine's Day?
Grabe partnership. Na-shock naman. Na-surprise naman ako dun sa tanong mo. Super random. Well, actually, kung sasagutin ko yan, ang Valentine's, kumain lang namin kami sa may Kapol area while listening to a live band.
Tapos, ang best part ng night na yon is yung binigyan ako nung kasama ko ng isang box ng pastries. So, kumbaga, sweet na yung araw ko, nakakain pa ako ng something sweet.
Of Elementary Education, major in Early Childhood in Ateneo de Naga University. She is also a preschool teacher at Mary Bree Village Montessori School Incorporated, owner and baker of Jayla's Pastry, Sunny Korean Egg Drop, and Taco Bros. So without further ado, let us all welcome our first sharer for today, Ms. Janelle Ann J. Veneracion.
Yan. Okay na po ba?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you po.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Well, parang hindi pa rin tayo masasanay dito sa talk na to. Ano po? Every time nakakakaba pa rin. Anyway, I will try my best to share my story with you guys. So, yan. Thanks. First of all, thank you for inviting me in this talk. It's an honor and I appreciate it. And I would also like to say hi to Ma'am Malu Barceliano. So, ayan. Nandyan pala si Ma'am. So, ayun. I will start with how I started with the business. Ano po, I started 2010. Actually, it is a family tradition of us to bake, and like my family really likes to cook and bake. So ayun, it started with my grandmother and then passed to my mom, and then my mom like passed it also to me. Pero nag-start po ako ng college pa as parang side hustle lang para bang extra income during my college days. Kasi my inspiration to doing this business is to become independent and not solely rely on my parents for all my expenses outside the school. So ayun. I started as a home baker, and then I started at school selling cupcakes. I also like nakakarating ako sa offices ng Ateneo. Actually, naging suki ko din si Ma'am Barceliano before. So very thankful ako kasi isa siya sa mga naging suki ng cupcakes ko during my college days. And then after that, nag-graduate ako, pero nag-work ako as teacher. Pero during that time, I still try to bake. And then yun, same lang, nakakarating din ako ng other offices like banks and government offices. Ayun. So nakarating din ako ng supplier sa mga cafes during yung time na parang lumawak yung cafes dito sa Naga. Siguro mga around 2015 po yun. And then after that, I had a chance to enter Ateneo de Naga University during 2017. I was given a chance na pumasok sa Ateneo as supplier din ng bread. So napwesto po kami doon sa Xavier Hall. Nagkaroon kami doon ng small what do you call this? Parang bakery style siya na we cater students and staff ng Ateneo de Naga University. But then 2020 came pandemic, so yun, we stayed there for 3 years, and then until now, nag-stop yung namin doon, yung operations namin sa Xavier Hall. Kasi nga nagka-pandemic tayo ng 2020, so bumalik po kami as online seller. Since naka-establish din naman kami ng page during 2014 when we started our business. So yun, binuhay namin yung online page namin. And then doon kami nag-start mag-collect again ng orders for 2020. And then luckily, dumami yung namin, yung market namin. We reached like siguro, since nga di ba po, pandemic and then nag-lockdown, parang lumawak yung reach namin. So naabot namin yung almost siguro, I can say 40% to 50% ng population ng Naga City. Since may mga dati na kaming suki, ayun, trusted naman yung brand namin. So parang dumami naman yung suki namin. And then we had a chance to open 2021. May nag-offer po sa amin ng pwesto. So ayun, bumalik kami sa public. And then this time, hindi lang po school, pero mas larger population na. So ayun, we had a chance to go out. And then as entrepreneur this time, and then seller ng goods, just remember that hindi siya laging parang madali. Sa bagay lahat naman hindi madali. Pero as business owner, masabi ko lang po, hindi siya agad-agad hit. Hindi ibig sabihin na lalabas ka in public, hit na talaga siya. You have to be patient with your product, and ayun. Don't be pressured to go out agad-agad kasi it really takes time. Tulad namin, parang it took me almost 10 years para makilala kami like sa buong Naga. Kaya ayun, don't be pressured with your business. Lalo na kung first time nyo. Syempre, may may ups and downs. Hindi lang, tulad namin, hindi lang naman yun ang una namin na business na inilabas. Meron din naman kami syempre ibang hindi nag-work out. So ayun po. And then just take one step at a time. Hindi tayo kailangan maging very aggressive sa ating businesses sa paglabas, lalo na sa paglabas. So ayun, dapat aralin yung maigi kung ano yung step na iti-take nyo sa paglabas ng business nyo. And then, what are the things you always take into consideration in running your business? So of course, just expect and check your pitfalls. Kasi ako as a business owner, hindi ako talaga like yung super positive thinking. Syempre dapat we also think of the negative. Syempre, as a business owner, lagi natin iisipin na positive side. Syempre, yung kikita ka and all that, all the good things, syempre may isip natin yun. Pero we also tend to forget the negative side of doing the business. So ayun, syempre, prepare for the worst. Seeing the positive side is the big mistake of the majority, I think. Kasi nga, since lagi tayong positive, nakakalimutan natin na yung mga bagay-bagay na dapat i-consider. So ayun. Sometimes we neglect them. Like for example, na experience ko to during 2021 para kasing since sa school kasi, di ba, alam natin yung lean months. So expected natin during like exam, syempre kakaunti ang students and all that. And then yung mga bakasyon, expected na natin yung lean months na ganun. Pero this time na nasa labas na kami, parang hindi ko nakita yung time kung kailan talaga yung lean months na papatak. Ano po, so ayun. For us, parang dapat na-learn ko na we need to save during lean months para at least yung lahat ng expenses natin masupplyan pa rin natin even though lean months. Kaya dapat siguro yung malalakas na months, dapat mag-save tayo doon para at least maabot natin and matansya natin yung lean months at lahat na expenses ay masasagot pa din. And then also sa business image naman natin, syempre importante yon. Importante yon and laging ma-maintain na good quality ang products and yung staff natin laging managed, lagi silang courteous and lagi silang kumbaga welcoming sa ating customers lagi. And yun lang. Parang sa business naman, expect mo laging dapat adapting ka sa current situation and all the trends. Ayun, dapat lagi kang updated para at least makasabay ka sa agos ng business, especially with your products. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Janelle. You know what, partner, ang nag-stick talaga sa akin na sinabi ni Miss Janelle is that you really have to be patient with your product. Kasi yung reminder na yan, it is not only applicable sa business, di ba? It can be a good reminder sa atin sa kung ano man ang pinagdadaanan natin na we really have to be patient with what we are doing and with ourselves. Kung babalikan natin yung sinabi ni Miss Janelle nga, it took her 10 years to be known dito sa Naga City and it even took her several tries. But then, yun na nga, patience is the key. Kaya hanggang ngayon, yung business niya nag-thrive and it even grew. So we would like to thank her for that inspiring message and also for sharing her experience. Kasi kahit papano, tayo, although hindi sa business lang natin ma-apply yung advice niya, pwede din natin siya ma-apply sa day-to-day lives natin. So, ayan. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Yes, tama naman talaga, partner. Patience is actually a virtue. Yun nga, may kasabihan tayong gano'n. So, earlier, we were actually talking about something and then nabanggit mo na pupunta kang Legazpi, right?
Yes, actually, this weekend, pupunta kami ng family ko sa Legazpi, mamamasyal, ganyan, with my siblings and my parents. Ba't mo naman natanong, Mac?
Well, actually, meron lang talaga akong isang gustong ipabili sa iyo. Kung pwede lang naman, pasabay ako, pabilin J ko.
Oh, okay. So, yun lang pala. Magpapasabay ka lang pala. Kaya mo natanong.
Yes, partner. Yun lang talaga.
I-check ko tuloy yung budget ko if kaya magpasabay. But speaking of pasabay, our next speaker is actually the owner of what do you call this? Sorry. Bicol Pasabay. So ayan. That's she is Miss Martel Buenafe and with her is Sir Anjo Buenafe. So being in a medical related profession, Miss Anjo Buenafe decided to try something. Miss Anjo Buenafe decided to try something outside of her comfort zone. Her cousin, who is the original owner, agreed for the idea of the business to be also brought to Bicol. Thus, the birth of Bicol Pasabay. Family is the main inspiration for starting the business. The come what may strategy became the initial approach in starting the operations. No complaining, no expectations, just go with whatever is there, regardless of the number of deliveries. Time, communication, consistency, and safety are the top priorities of the enterprise. These are the considerations during the challenging times and the values being shown during difficult situations. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Martel and Sir Anjo Buenafe.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Okay na po, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning po. Meron na po, meron na.
Yes po, sir. Meron na po.
One thing lang kasi yung yung logo, hindi po namin siya logo. Hindi po yan yung logo namin, sorry. Kasi meron din pong iba pang pasabay delivery. Opo, ang logo po namin yung color orange.
Apologies for that, sir.
Oo. Good morning sa lahat ng mga viewers natin. So, as introduce ako nga po pala si Martel, Mr. Martel and Miss Anjo. Bali, ano po, so what we can share about our business is that actually we are medically inclined, we are nurses by profession. And so, sino makapag-isip na pumasok sa mga ganito, di ba? So we thought about making thinking outside the box na lang. Sige, kasi though meron kami mga opportunities na makapagtrabaho under sa government or sa mga private, so which is medically related. Pero since pandemic nga, nakakatakot yung sitwasyon natin. Ang naisip lang kasi namin is yung family din namin. So we ended up thinking some other businesses. We actually nag-try din kami sa food business, kaso ang hirap pala pag food business din. Ang competition is very high. So we ended up sige, stop na lang tayo. Nag-isip kami na iba. So kaya nag-end up kami sa pasabay. But this pasabay is actually originally from Ilocos. So as mentioned, we just asked a permission from our cousin to use it. So nag-yes lang sila. So ayun, nag-start kami doon. So kahit nag-start kami mga June or July. So kahit pa isa-isa, go pa rin kami. So talagang hindi kami nagko-complain. Imagine there was a time talagang isa lang yung mag-o-order, then takbo lang, sige lang, go lang kami ng go. And then surprisingly, one time meron nag-order, hindi siya within Naga. Hindi lang siya basta outside Naga, hindi lang outside province, outside the country. So na-surprise talaga kami. Kaya yung first client namin is from Macau. So sabi namin, okay, sige po, go lang tayo. Okay, ano po yung order niyo, like that. So doon yan nag-start na yan, dire-diretso na yan. Nagkaroon pa kami ng mga client galing from Yemen, Hong Kong, and then may Canada pa kami. So na-surprise talaga kami doon kasi pinopost namin. Pero despite having those mga customers, may takot din kami kasi nga nauuso yung mga scam. Pero sabi namin, sige lang, go lang tayo. Pero pagka-involved na ang mga higher amount, let's say mga thousands na, doon na kami nag-a-ask ng nag-iisip na kami ng na kailangan mag-down muna sila. But even so, nag-push pa rin kami. There was one time also, actually the first customer namin is from Iriga, outside Naga. Nagkaroon kami doon ng more than 4,000 or 5,000 na orders. Tapos sige lang, nag-go kami, pero hindi namin naisip na baka ma-scam kami. Pero sabi namin, go with the flow, sige lang. We did it by faith, sige lang, ginawa namin. So yun, nagawa namin, and then nagpo-post kami. So from there, nagkakaroon na kami ng mga customers. Ayan na, nagkakaroon na kami ng mga inquiries. But as of now, actually, mostly ang aming customer is mga bakers, mga pastries. So at first, we are only delivering lang dito locally. And then, nung naisip namin na actually may nag-inquire, then outside Naga kung nagdi-deliver kami para sa mga cakes. So sabi namin, sige po. Pero by car po yan, by car. Kasi usually mga cakes talagang kina-car namin. Kasi for for safety rin syempre. And then napansin namin, dumadami na yung outside deliveries namin. Ang aming application was only locally. And then so naisip namin mag-apply kami regional. So ayun, after namin mag-apply ng regional, doon na, ayan na, nagdire-diretso na yan. Meron na kaming deliveries hanggang Sipocot, Libmanan, Legazpi, Sorsogon. We even delivered talaga hanggang Misibis Bay. Imagine that, wedding cake 3-tier Misibis Bay. So para kasi sa amin that time, nung nga pala, hindi pa namin maisip that time na we would turn out to be successful. Kasi ang mindsetting kasi namin doon is just to magkaroon lang kami ng parang a way to earn for a living. Pero it never turned out talaga na, hindi namin naisip na magiging ganun yung kalalabasan. So, yung isa pang setting ng utak namin nun is yung matulungan namin yung mga walang trabaho. So, yung mga nawalan ng trabaho. So, doon kami yung naghanap kami ng mga riders na pwede namin matulungan. So, doon, nag-straight na siya, dire-diretso na siya na nagkaroon na rin kami client. Even dito sa local, talaga nagkaroon na rin kami ng mga partners. But, hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin kami. Ayun pa pala, ma'am. Tapos yung nabanggit nga, yung aming sa company kasi namin, very important talaga ang time namin, tsaka yung communication sa isa't isa, apart from honesty tsaka yung trust. Yung quality ng service, so how we deliver the goods. Ang sabi nga namin is malate man yan, ang importante is maayos yung yung product mo. But however, hindi naman talaga kami nalilate. So far talaga hindi kami nalilate. Kumbaga syempre ayaw din naman ng mga riders na malate. So lagi naman kaming on time. And then there was even a time na talaga nagka-problema pa kami sa mga sa car, pero na-resolve naman namin yon kasi nga meron nga kaming time management kung paano namin i-resolve yan. So hindi naman siya po pwede na nakaset ka lang yung utak mo na ito laging okay yan. So sabi nga meron ka rin time na magkakaproblema ka, pero so syempre meron kaming mga plan B, ganyan. So pag nasiraan, ito meron ka dyan, ganyan. So very important talaga ang management din. So it's a good thing kasi kami, since we are medically inclined, we know somehow talaga ang how to manage mga certain problems, and we know how to set priorities, which is very important. Meron po kayong tanong? Kasi so far we are having a good time, great time with our company. Still we are doing good. So hopefully kailangan lang talaga natin is yung maging positive din naman tayo, kasi despite having this pandemic, meron din naman itong naidudulot sa mga ibang tao. Natuto yung mga tao na magtrabaho, yung mga tao na yung iba walang ginagawa sa bahay, natuto mag-bake. Yung iba na hindi mo inaasahan na may talent pala sila. So kahit naman kami, so sabi nga namin medically inclined, pero tignan mo, nasa delivery service kami. Nasa business ng delivery service. Despite the offers na meron kaming na pwede kami makapag-work. So pero we still chose na yung siyempre ito yung mas safe, and then aside from that, nakakatulong pa kami, kumita yung mga nawalan ng trabaho. So pati yung mga nagtatrabaho, tinutulungan din namin yung mga seller. Yung mga seller pala. So, ayun, grateful kami, and thank you that may mga tao pa rin to support sa amin, and we're still looking forward pa rin po sa mga journeys to come pa.
Okay, yes, thank you very much, Sir Martel and Ma'am Anjo, for sharing your story with us. Ang pinaka nakuha ko talaga, partner, sa kanila, yung kahit, yun nga, medically inclined sila, but and they have this kind of business. Talagang go with the flow lang sila, hindi sila nag-complain, no expectations talaga. Pero look at them now. Very, very nakakabilib mga first orders nila, international kaagad. So, sana makuha din natin yung ganung klaseng na kunwari if I also want if I plan to open a business, siguro sana talaga international din kaagad yung makuha kong kliyente. So yeah, thank you once again, Sir Martel and Ma'am Anjo Buenafe, for sharing your time with us and your story with us. So right now, partner, sobrang init, right? Lalo dito sa kinatatayuan natin.
Yes, sobra talaga. As in, mafe-feel mo na siya every time magko-commute ka or maglalakad ka sa sentro. Kasi, summer na rin naman na, partner. Matanong ko lang, kung may mga plans ka ba this summer na pupuntahan or papasyalan?
Well, speaking of summer, yes, may plano kaming mga classmates ko nung high school na go to the beach. And speaking of beach, ang next nating mga kasama ay isang traveler and free diver. Siya ay isang traveler and free diver, and she was able to build her confidence in the open water. It led her to become passionate about it, which inspired her to be able to share it through teaching. So this is the reason why we have this first ever free diving school in the region, which is the Busea Bicol. She is also the one who ventured into a food industry, which is the Fat Boys restaurant. So itong Fat Boys restaurant is naisipan nila na magkakaibigan in order to have this live cooking, yung niluluto mismo sa harap nila. So yun yung isa sa magandang naisip ni Ma'am Dayan. And the motivation is to always have the eagerness to learn new things and then the passion to share them with the other people. Preparation is also a key to becoming successful. Aside from the knowledge, the expert advice and training are always helpful in every decision and action. So, Ms. Dayan always considers safety in running the business and its operation. As for the restaurant, affordable prices of the raw materials are always taken into consideration, yet the quality is still the main priority. And major challenges such as this pandemic and typhoon seasons made her create innovations, improve services, and apply various management techniques and strategies. So without further ado, let's listen to Ma'am Dayan Christine Atienza for her to share her success stories with us.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. Yes po, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. So, thanks again sa pag-invite po sa akin dito to inspire this business students and graduate school po. Okay, I hope you learn from me. Okay, so I came up with the idea of first is Busyor Bicol or the free diving school. Kasi after college sa Ateneo, ay nag-enroll ulit ako ng second course ko sa University of East Manila. I'm a dentistry student, pero I stopped because of the pandemic. Pero during dent school, very stressful kasi siya. So, una, ang escape ko is to travel even once a month or vacation time. And then, pag nagbabakasyon kasi or nagta-travel, especially during island trips, non-swimmer ako, pero may background ako sa scuba diving. Pero hindi na-build yung confidence ko sa scuba diving. So, I tried free diving hanggang sa doon ako mas na in love. And then, Yun yung escape ko nga sa school, sa stressful dense school, hanggang sa I came up with the idea to share it also kasi marami rin ng mga coaches sa Batangas. So una sa Batangas ako nagtuturo. Yon. Tapos kaya ko siya inopen dito sa Bicol kasi when I went for vacation dito sa Bicol, gusto ko mag-dive, kaya lang wala akong maaya na isa. So, why not teach my friends first? And then, yun, hanggang sa sabi ko, marami na yung naging interested kasi una kong naturuan ay 4 batches 2019 dito sa Libmanan. They are from Naga, Pasakaw, pero yung venue is sa Libmanan. So, mas marami yung mga nag-i-inquire pa. So, blessing in disguise yung pandemic. I went back to Bicol. Dito na ako nag-base. Hanggang sa, yun, tuloy-tuloy na nga. Marami ng nag-i-inquire. Tapos sa Fat Boys Restaurant naman, as in wala akong idea sa food business. Pero yung challenge and excitement, learning new things or learning outside your comfort zone, 'di ba? Outside the box. Wala akong alam sa pagluluto, hindi nga ako marunong magluto na pero lahat naman ay natututunan. So with advices from friends, ganyan, and then inspiration din ng mga nakikita sa traveling. Like I went to Vietnam or Thailand. Yung mga foods nila are so unique na why not offer here in the Philippines, diba? Like yung mga fried rice nila. Kasi sa Fat Boys we have the Thai rice. So yun, ang inspiration ko sa Busyor Bicol is yun nga, my love and passion sa ocean, sa trip, sa travel. Pero yung yung caring for the ocean din. Kasi we have this three goals in Busyor Bicol, which is teaching non-swimmers or Filipinos to become swimmers or free divers. Kasi we all know that Philippines is one of the most diving or summer destination in the world. Okay, tapos tag as one of the best diving spot in the world din ang Philippines. We have lots of beautiful beach, diving spots, etc. Pero parang malaking sampal sa atin yung 90% of the Filipinos are non-swimmers. So parang pinaka main goal is to teach everyone how to swim or to free dive. And then second goal is to spread the love for the ocean, or to inspire other people to also love the ocean. Tapos, pag maraming nagla-love sa ocean, mas maraming mag-care sa ocean. Okay? So, yung sasabi kong 90% na non-swimmer, kasi usually sa mga nagiging students, pag foreigners, lahat sila mga swimmer. Pero pag Filipinos, sa 5, isa lang, sa 10, isa lang, 2, ganyan. So, pero lahat naman yon natututo. We welcome non-swimmers also here. Sa Fat Boys naman, inspiration is, yun nga, trying new things. Tapos, meron din kasi akong charity, especially before the pandemic, helping Aita people from Benguet, from Zambales, like that. So, to fund that charity, nanggagaling yun sa Busyor Bicol or sa free diving before. Okay, tapos nung nagka-typhoon 2020 sa 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 Bicol, yon na-fund namin with the help of other sponsors din yung typhoon relief operations. So yan, hindi lang siya purely business but also help people or the in need. Okay? Tapos preparing myself bago mag-start nitong service business. Okay? Of course, feeding myself with trainings, with the knowledge of the free diving, and syempre safety kasi as a professor or as a coach ng free diving, hawak ko yung buhay ng ng mga estudyante, di ba? So dapat walang malulunod. Okay, wala naman so far. Kaya kasi alam natin yung mga safety and how to rescue just in case of emergency. Sa Fat Boys naman, yun nga, as I've said, totally zero knowledge sa cooking or sa food business. Pero by the help of my friends, advices, and pakonti-konti naman, natutunan ko paano i-manage ng tama siya. Still learning from it kasi hindi naman natatapos even sa diving eh. Hindi dahil coach na ako ng matagal, alam ko na lahat. No, I still learn. Every dive is different learning. Every dive may madidiscover at may madidiscover ako. Same sa everyday operation ng business. Hindi araw-araw pareho din yun. So, taking consideration sa pag-run ng business, sa diving, well, first is the dive sites. Okay, we ocular first bago namin dalhin dun yung mga estudyante. And then, sa free diving, sa Busyar Bicol kasi it's not just diving eh. We also promote the tourism. Not ang target is to find the diving spots in Bicol para din ma-flex natin siya sa not just in not just for Bicolanos but for the Filipinos and other foreigners na nagda-dive din. So dito sa Bicol pa lang, we have lots of underwater beautiful diving spots na. Hindi yun nalalaman ng iba kasi walang nag-flex, walang nagtatangkang mag-explore. So, yun din yung one of the aims namin. So, yun. Tapos, consideration din ng weather kasi alam naman natin, Bicol, dito lang ako naka-experience din sa pagtuturo na kailangan mo talagang hindi lang isa, dalawang beses i-check yung weather kasi even sobrang maaraw, yung dagat hindi nakikisama, maalon. Pag maalon kasi, hindi safe for beginners siya. So, yan. Sa mga datihan na mga advanced diver, okay lang yung medyo maalon, manageable pa yun. Pero sa mga beginner, it's a no-no. So, meron namang mga panahon na maulan pero hindi maalon, that's also safe for diving. Basta make sure lang na na-check niyo siya online. Kasi meron naman tayo, advanced na yung natin, yung weather forecast natin. Okay? So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-antay for the weather update during nighttime sa TV Patrol or GMA. So, we have na websites to check the tides and forecast. So, yan. Sa naman, sa Fat Boys, pinaka-importanting i-consider is the 4 P's. Okay? The product, the price, the place, the promotion. Yun yung pinaka-importante talaga kasi before putting up Fat Boys, kailangan ano ba to? Okay ba yung presyo sa masa? Yung location mo ba is wise? Yung product mo ba ay mabibili? Tapos yung promotion ba? Okay? We even tried bands para mag-attract ng customers. Pero one thing I've learned sa business, sa food business especially, Okay? Kahit gaano kadaming promotion mo, kahit gaano karaming discounts mo, kahit sinong gamitin mong tawag ito, band or sino man na sikat na para i-promote yung yung business mo. Pag may pera ang tao, pupunta yan sa negosyo mo, kakain yun sa'yo. Pero pag walang pera ang tao, hindi yan pupunta sa'yo, mananatili yan sa bahay. Yan lang yung yan lang yung isa sa mga natutunan ko. While discussing it also sa mga co-business friends ko. I mean, sa mga ibang negosyanteng friends ko. So kahit anong gawin na promotion, pag walang pera ang tao, hindi yan pupunta sa'yo. Okay, so major challenges na na-encounter sa negosyong free diving is yun nga, pag move back ko sa Bicol from Batangas, kasi sa Batangas bihira yung bihira yung bagyo. Parang sa 2019 isang beses lang, pero hindi bagyo yun, habagat lang, yung sobrang maalon, and we really need to cancel dives. Pero sa Bicol, halos all year round, you need to check even summer, ngayong April and May, you need to check weather and tides para to know if it's safe to dive. Yun, one thing na naisip ko para kahit anong typhoon man ang mangyari. Kasi I have this friend na putting up a resort in Sorsogon. I suggest if they can put a 20-meter feet pool, 20-meter deep na feet pool. Sabi ko, yun yung, kung sakali man na makalagay kayo, yun yung pinakakauna-unahang 20-feet pool in Bicol region. Kasi, kahit na may bagyo, kahit na hindi maganda yung panahon, we can dive. We can do classes there or practice dives there. And then so far naman, na-approve daw ng board nila. I hope they can start it by next year na. So yun na yung yun yung pinaka big achievement or na panglaban sa sa weather. So yun, sa Fat Boys naman, ang pinaka challenge yun yung pagsa-start up ng business, kasi you need to study kung papatak ba yung yung negosyo mo sa tao sa Fat Boys kasi pangmasa siya, like we all know na well known naman yung Kinalas sa Bicol, especially sa Naga. So we have also Kinalas kasi kung yung mga nagsasnack lang, mga napapa-stop by lang sa Dayandang, yun yung pinaka affordable namin, pero still have a good quality, masarap siya. At the price of 35 pesos lang, mabubusog ka na, full loaded pa. Tapos yun, major challenge din yung pagmamanage ng mga tao. Okay, especially those people who are older than you, tsaka may mas background or nakapag-work na sa food business, kasi it's really my first time to handle food business. Pero may mga tao tayo na mas older sa atin, nandun yung respect, pero still dapat they also respect you. They should know na ikaw yung boss, pero you should, as a boss naman, you should know how to respect them din. You can welcome their their ideas para din sa ikakabuti ng negosyo. And challenge din kasi is different personality ng mga staff, kasi may mga iba't ibang personality tayo Merong matitigas yung ulo, merong tamad, pero keep on reminding them kung ano yung duties nila para din mas magampanan nila yung work nila. Pero sa ano naman, right manner naman, hindi yung masyado kang boss na, ganyan, ganyan, okay? So, we need to treat them right para din ibalik sa atin yun. Tapos, yun, sa Fat Boys din kasi, hindi naman kami nagre-require ng mga masyadong matataas na educational attainment. Basta kayang i-perform yung job, i-train ka naman namin, you're welcome to join the team. So, yun. I think I'm done. I hope you learned from me. You have any questions or later na lang. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Diane Christine. Yung questions na lang po, siguro ma'am, directed sa mga speakers natin or amongst the participants, later na lang po siya after our next na speakers. So we will be having our open forum later after nitong next speaker natin. So once again, thank you po, Miss Diane Christine. So yun ang yung sa sinabi ni Ma'am Diane, isa talaga sa one of the best feelings talaga is yung hobby mo or yung passion mo is you get to do it or apply it to your business, tama? So, ayan. And also, yun na nga na makikita mo kay Ma'am Diane or kay Ma'am Christine na very passionate talaga siya sa job na dahil sa hindi lang porket coach na siya, eh feeling niya she should stop there na alam niya na lahat. Magtuturo lang siya na magtuturo. But nagtitake pa rin siya ng mga seminars niya. So kumbaga parang she's still in the process of learning. So yan, mastering your craft is one of the kumbaga makikita mo diyan na you're very passionate about with something na kumbaga with what you're doing. Yan. So yung pagpunta niya yung pag-swimming niya sa beach is doon nagsimula yung story niya hanggang sa gusto na niyang alapin yung friends niya until naging business na siya. So, ayan. Once again, yung na-mention mo nga kanina na pagpunta mo ng beach dahil summer na, right? Pag pumupunta baga tayo partner sa beach, usually yung ininom natin doon is yung mga pampa-cool down, syempre kasi nga mainit na nga. So, buko, aside from that, ano pa ba? Ano pa ba partner mga ininom natin?
Well, ako kadalasan, sa ngayon, mas na-addict ako, I think, more on iced coffee and milk tea. So, yun mga kinahiligan ko lately.
Iced coffee, milk tea. Yan din, di ba, usually nauuso ngayon sa Facebook, tama? Mga kinakaadikan ng mga kabataan. Kung ikaw tatanungin ko, ano bang mas prefer mo? Milk tea or coffee?
Well, I'm more of a coffee person. So, I'll go with my coffee.
Okay, so coffee person. Kung ako naman tatanungin mo, sige dapat tatanungin mo ako partner.
Sige, ikaw easily. Ano mas bet mo? Are you more of a coffee or milk tea?
Ako, more of coffee ang mas gusto ko. Kasi pampagising, tulad ngayon, umagang-umaga, I hope yung mga participants natin kayang-kaya pa and gising pa. So, we will be having our last speaker before tayo mag-proceed sa open forum. Okay, so sa second speaker, sa next speaker naman natin, siya ay si Miss Danica Manalili, and she's the owner of Boti and Co Cafe. For her, this company, her business is a dream come true. And she's always been a fan of coffee, which made her known to most of the baristas around Naga. When the pandemic started, a post about the view of Sierra Madre with clear skies gave her an idea to start with an eco-friendly business. She initially offered a do-it-yourself milk tea kits and introduced edible straws. Promoting to save the environment is one of her inspirations to operate her establishment. For her, in this current pandemic situation, 1% is capital and 99% is the courage to continue with the business operations. She made herself take short courses about the basics of business marketing and menu development. She explored available resources online to help in reduction of the cost of raw materials. She believes that education is one best key to be successful. Target customers, location, ambience, and quality ingredients are the main considerations of her cafe.
These factors helped her in fighting the effects of the pandemic and the opening of more competitors. All the more, this helped her in reconstructing the idea of her business into a first 2D cafe here in Naga City. So once again, let's welcome Miss Danica Faye.
Hi, hello, good morning, sorry. Good morning sa gabos na participants. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. And yeah, to begin with, Boti and Co started during mid-pandemic. Actually, it was April 2020 when we started Boti and Co. What inspired me doing it, or how did I come up with that idea? As mentioned earlier, it was my dream already to have a coffee shop way back when I'm still in college, mga college days pa, syempre mga nag-aaradal sa mga coffee shop. O kaya hanggang sa sabi na subagod na gusto nakita ko mga barista. And then, igwa akong sarong coffee shop na pero hindi dinudumanan before. So duman ako nagkuha ang idea, sabi ko, gusto ko man out kaya sa diri ko man para unlimited ang coffee ko. Then sa isang barista duman, sabi ko, ate, pag nagka-coffee shop ako, kukaan takang barista. And true enough, ang barista ko niyan, si ate nga sa coffee shop na dinudumanan ko before. So, kumbaga nagpuon si kagustuhan ko magkaiguan ng coffee shop sa sa na-experience ko before. Magayon nun sa feeling na pakapita-pita lang, so gusto ko man siyang ma-feel kang iba. Bakad to kaya ang sarong cup ng coffee bagakad to, kumbaga expensive na ito para sa tuya. So sabi ko, ako man gusto ko man out then in the future. So duman nagpuon si idea ko magka-coffee shop. Then na-inspire ako kasi aside from mentioned earlier, na-inspire ako magpuon kasi sabi ko, kadakol ko ng business sa pinupunan. Actually, nagpuon na ako sa cake, sa pastries. Naging na ako ni Ma'am Jayla sa mga pastries niya, sa mga pastries, cakes. So, nagkaigwa man akong pastries ko silang niya pastisseria. So, itong mga usokad to na drink cake, pinuunan ko man siya. Pero since ang competition ka ito, grabe sa pastries man. So, kumbaga, may time sense sa mga challenges pag nag-open ka ng business is yung mga competition. So, data siya maiiwasan. So, once na may competitions na, it's either i-improve mo si sadiri mo or minsan, kumbaga, sa ka maduman, sa i-improve mo ang sadiri mo or hahanapon mo, gusto mo ba talaga ang binibibo mo. So, we go two ways. Pwedeng out na yan. Aside from that, na-motivate man din ako dahil during pandemic, itong na-stop ang mga transportation, si mga nagtatrabaho, kaya. So, si pollution that time, medyo nag-low. And then, ang effect yan is nahiling there's a post sa Facebook na nahiling itong Sierra Madre, dawaan na sa Metro Manila. And that is very rare mangyari since ang pollution sa Manila is, lalo na ang air pollution, ang mga smoke, talagang affected. So from that, sabi ko, as a citizen, ano ang pwede kong magibo or maiambag through my business na mabawasan ang pollution, ma-maintain ta, para day lang during pandemic mahiling itong Sierra Madre or ang isawag sa tuya or ang mayon or ang different views, ano pa as a person ang pwede kong maiambag. And during that time, ang height tato is milk teas, the kulon milk tea. As a milk tea lover, during pandemic na may mga lockdown, na-miss ko man mag-inom ng milk tea. Sabi ko, anong pwede kong gibuhon? So from that, nag-start ako ng DIY milk tea. So, ibang box. And ang ginamit kong packaging are all biodegradable. So, not 100% kasi sa supplies, di kita makahanap ng mga packaging na 100% biodegradable or eco-friendly, but at least lessen. So, one of that is using edible straws na made of tapioca and made of rice. So, introducing that, kasi ang supplier ko that time, hali pang Vietnam. Because that's yung galing Vietnam pa ang production and company. So, hali pa duman si supplies ko for edible straws. So, introducing that hanggang sa to studying and research, nalaman ko na Iguama nagpo-produce sa Philippines. So, also using reusable mason jars, and yung packaging is using boxes na biodegradable. So, there. Kumbaga, dikit-dikit, nai-introduce ko siya na paano malesen ang mga trash pa or ang mga makaka-contribute pa sa pollution. So, awag siya kaya pinuunan ko si concept niya. So, na makatabang sa environment also, while satisfying the cravings for milk tea that time. So, hanggang sa nag-open na medyo nag-open na nagluwag na ang mga levels sa Naga. So, nagbaba na din siya, nagbaba na din si demand, kumbaga for DIY milk teas. Kasi instead of staying home, nag-o-order na si iba. Also, nag-open na si mga deliveries, sir, ito owning kang pasabay. So, dakulan ng, kumbaga, pwede ka na mag-order, pwede ka magluwas, kesa man mag-gibo ka sa harong. So, that's the time na I've decided na why not make it a physical store na ma-order na lang sinda. But, so that's where I started as a small milk tea stall. Actually, sa luwas lang siya kang harong me. But still maintaining my goal na eco-friendly. So, still I offer it on a mason jar and an edible straw. And then once they come back using the same mason jars, they will get a discount. So, tuloy-tuloy lang siya. Until talagang nagdakol ang milk tea shops that time. Dakulon na siya hanggang sa pababaan na ng price. So, ang competition mas nag-high. Hello? 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 Can you still hear me?
Hello, ma'am. Yes, okay po, ma'am. Proceed po. Apologies for that. Mukhang
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So, saan na nga ako? Yeah, so, yung competition that time is mas nagdakol ang competition. I'm sorry. Mas nagdakol ang competition, mas dakulo nagbuka ng mas cheaper price. So, yan one of the dilemmas na na-encounter ko that time. Kaya, ang ginibo ko is nag-conceptualize ako kung paano ko siya still may offer with different concept but still same milk tea and still eco-friendly. So, ang ginibo ko is the first 2D cafe in Naga City. So, naghanap kaming pwesto. One of the considerations also in opening a business is looking to the best location. So, the kulon available location that time. Pero siguro nag-close ako for about 3 months looking for that best spot. So, one of that is yung current location namin is sa Orange Dormitel, which is near universities and dormitels. So, yan siya. So, aside from that, una kayang hinihiling ka mga customers before going into a business or a food business na may physical store is the ambience. Gusto syempre mga kaakian gusto nila mga Instagrammable, makapag-picture-picture, yan ang inata dinudumanan ninda. So, ako man, syempre, yung man yung iniiling ko as a customer, anong hinahanap mo sa isang restaurant or cafe? Siyempre, first off is the ambience. So, yan man is in-apply ko siya sa business ko. Then, second for me, first is the location, second is the ambience. Third, dyan is the food. So, dapat sino-offer mo, si food, si drinks, si quality niya must be maintained. And yung uniqueness. Kasi, that's why may liquor teas kami, or DIY green teas or fruit teas. Kasi yan yung ika lang makaka-offer eh. Though may mag-ahog man or not say mag-ahog, magkuaning concept, same concept, at least maalala ka as first ahog kan duman ko na inom ay ahog palan kani. May kumbaga a healthy competition din siya. So first is the location, second is the ambience, third is the food, maintaining the quality and the taste. Then fourth for me is the price. Kasi no matter how high your price is, as long as yung quality, yung food that you offer is still maintained, people will still come and go to your cafe. Okay, so considerations, I have already said it. Then for the challenges, still sabi ko nga sa bago, sa business, it's 1% capital, 99% is courage. So be courageous in starting your business. Push ka lang. Stick to your advocacy also. If your advocacy is to teach more people how to swim, enjoy the environment, or if your advocacy is to deliver food wherever you are through pasabay or or share your talents in making your food, diba? Or satisfying others at cravings. So stick to your advocacy. And from that advocacy, si mga same advocacy mo man, that will be your target population. So tuloy-tuloy lang siya. Be courage. May mga ups and downs, may mga dilemmas, may mga challenges, but still push mo lang. There's a perfect timing for everything. And bako yan filming happy birthday na ang kita mo ngayon yan is halangkaw. Ang kita mo sa aga pwedeng hababa, pwedeng mayo, but still go on, di ba? Or dyan ka makakakuan lessons, kumbaga, sa mga mistakes or sa mga downtimes. So, use that to improve your business. Kasi, sabi ko nga ni Kempelmi, sa business bakong happy birthday, bakong fiesta, may mga times na rainy days, may mga times na sunny days. So, bakong gabos constant when it comes to business. So, yeah. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Ma'am Danica Faye Manalili, for sharing your story with us. Yung nakuha ko sa kanya, actually partner, yung lessons na nakuha ko is passion turns into business. And then yung business, ginamit niya in order to promote the advocacies. Yung pinaka-main advocacy niya is to help to improve the environment. So very, very nice. Mula sa ating speaker from Ma'am Danica Faye Manalili. So thank you once again. And right now, meron tayo ditong video presentation coming from the Arts, Culture, and Tourism Office of Naga. He is the Chief Officer of ACTO. He will be sharing with us a insight. He's actually planning to transform informal sector in our market in order to become a formal sector. So let's listen to Sir Alec Francis Santos, Chief Officer of Arts and Culture Tourism Office of Naga City.
From day one po of the lockdown, our office was transformed from a tourism office to a support office for the COVID response of the city government of Naga. So during the lockdown po, first and foremost, we assisted of course yung mga affected na mga visitors na stranded. And after that, we assisted yung mga local tourism businesses that was hit hard. And at the same time po, our focus also shifted to micro-entrepreneurs, particularly those home-based na because of restrictions, movement restrictions, hindi sila makagalaw. So we facilitated in helping them secure permits. So that they can conduct their businesses safely. And then they can deliver directly to their customers. So yung pong office namin yung nag-screen and nag-encourage, and we even went so far as to recommend yung mga tourist tricycle drivers na train namin prior to the pandemic na sila yung nag-serve as delivery couriers or service providers sa mga micro-entrepreneurs. So we link them together. Naging uso yung mga online sellers na noon. So we help them organize themselves, and naging na po siya ang United Bicolano Online Sellers, yung UBOS. So several hundred sila. Ngayon thousands na po sila. So we help them and we link them with DTI, and we provided them with assistance, and we prioritize them pagdating po doon sa pag-promote ng businesses nila and pag-link sa mga service providers na nagpo-provide ng transport. So yun po, that was during the lockdown. After the lockdown naman, even before na lumabas ang Department of Tourism ng mga guidelines pagdating sa resumption of operations of tourism office tourism establishments, we develop our own online assessment tool. So yung mga hotels, resorts, we gave them online tool so that they themselves can assess kung ready na sila mag-open or hindi. And then yung office namin, nag-shift kami. Again, we supported po yung mga regulatory offices and agencies natin para po makapag-conduct ng mga assessment and inspections ng mga establishments to make them ready for COVID-19 operations during COVID-19 pandemic. After po nun, yung office namin, we supported naman yung mga micro-entrepreneurs na affected. For instance, yung pong pag-redevelop ng ating Sentro Naga, ng pedestrianization, yung pag-improve ng sidewalks, we included yung pong welfare mga assessment and inspections ng mga establishments to make them ready for COVID-19 operations during COVID-19 pandemic. After po nun, yung office namin, we supported naman yung mga micro entreps na affected. For instance, yung pong pag-redevelop ng ating Sentro Naga, ng pedestrianization, yung pag-improve ng sidewalks, we included yung pong welfare ng mga street food vendors natin. Meron po tayong isang group ng mga street food vendors na dati po yung tawag nila sa sarili nila para daw sila mga squatters. Kasi nakikipaghabulan sila sa aming mga enforcers. So even sabi nila, even before sila nakastart ng kanilang operations for the day, pag nahuli sila, magbabayad sila ng multa. So kawawa naman. So they organized themselves loosely, informally, and then they approached us, the city government, and they asked for help. So gusto nila daw na maging formal na and gusto nila ng assistance from us. So we helped them organize themselves. So 30 plus na sila. So kahit dati po kalat lang sila sa sentro ng Naga, and we were able to facilitate na mabigyan sila ng temporary na location sa sentro ng Naga. And along with dialogues with the public safety office or our enforcers, and we recognize them. But kapalit po nun, we requested that number one, they be fully vaccinated. Kumuha sila ng health cards nila. Kumuha sila ng mga barangay permits. And of course, subject sila to regular monitoring. And because of that, pag comply nila niyan, we were able also to help them acquire additional skills through food and safety handling seminars. And we distributed safety kits for them para at least malinis yung and sanitary yung pag-prepare nila ng pagkain. So right now, very strong na yung organization nila. They're self-policing and maganda yung relationship namin sa kanila. And every time po na na napansin po namin na and from their testimonials themselves na gumanda yung negosyo nila. So even in the time of the pandemic. So those are the things that we initiated and we sustained sa office po namin. So again, our focus is on the most affected sector, especially po yung mga micro entrepreneurs natin, especially yung part ng informal sector. From day one.
So yun, thank you very much, Sir Alex Santos, for that message. And sana, yun na nga, earlier na-mention na ni Sir, he wanted to help those informal sector na maging formal na din. So para hindi na sila nakikipaghabulan sa mga enforcers ng Naga City Government. So right now, how are you feeling, everyone? So yung mga nandito sa Zoom, pwede tayong maglagay ng reactions kung how are we right now. And yung mga nanonood naman sa ating FB Live and YouTube, pwede kayong mag-comment ng emojis kung ano na yung nararamdaman ninyo right now. So yun. So while waiting for that, we will be going into discussions, and if there are questions to our dear participants and also to the MBA students that we have, feel free to give your questionnaires. So yan, may nakita ako mga naka-smiley face. Joy. Yun, isa ako doon, Joy. Naka-heart din po si Ma'am Adeline Almelor. Yan. Sa ating, I'll check our Facebook Live. So yan, meron din mga comments dito. Yun, heart and then smiling face. Yan, thank you very much po, Ma'am Elaine Navales. Okay, so may question ako dito natanggap, partner. So let me read this one first. So this is addressed to the MBA students. So let me read this. So the question is from Miss Tintin Karilim Diliman to MBA students or to fellow entrepreneur. So the question is, how do we know if we are pricing our goods correctly? So yeah, anyone from the MBA class or from our fellow entrepreneur? I think we have one. Let me call on sino yung nag-raise ng hand? Yan, raise tayo. Ayun, may dalawang nag-raise ng hand. Ayun, let's call Archie. RC? Where are you? Oh, there. Let's call Ma'am Archie from the MBA class. Yes, I'll repeat the question, Ma'am Archie. Here's it. How do we know if we are pricing our goods correctly?
Sure. Am I audible first?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I'll make this quick. There's definitely a science and strategy to pricing, but there's also a lot of instinct when it comes to pricing. So if you are studying marketing, if you're practicing marketing in the industry, we call this kind of like the gut feel for price. Definitely follow that, because like there is an inherent instinct to how we price products. However, the most basic thing, to answer the question, the most basic thing when it comes to pricing, we call this in the industry as cost plus pricing. What is that? This is the most basic consideration. It's production cost plus markup. The reason why this is very important is because this is the most sustainable way to run a price. It's important to consider your production cost, which includes your raw materials, your labor, and then a specific markup, a percentage of that goes into your profit or your revenue. Because this is very straightforward, I'm not going to focus on explaining it, but based on experience, I think that a lot of self-employed, micro, and small enterprises struggle with one element of this too, and that is under the production cost, specifically labor. So a lot of people who are self-employed don't necessarily pay themselves because they think that their payment is already the profit. And as a consultant before, this is one of the things that I thought was very harmful, because if you're not setting aside payment for yourself, then you're discounting the labor that you're putting into the business. How much you're paid as an owner via profit is different from how much you're paid as an owner, for example, also working as a barista, also working as a chef, also working as a waiter in your own business. Why? Because you always have to think of your business as something that you can scale, something that can grow bigger over time the more effort that you put in. If you do not pay yourself, it means that when you hire someone to replace you in the business, that's an additional cost that you never accounted for. So it's very important to kind of think about your business always, especially when it comes to pricing, as if you're going to scale it, as if it's going to be bigger than it is today. And that's like one of the basic things. But other than that, other considerations that you can look at, because that's very straightforward. Other things that you can look at is number one, an agreed upon value. So you have to agree on the value of what service or product you're offering between, let's say there's multiple owners. We think, for example, the value of one cake is more than just a cake. It's also saying that you love a particular person, therefore the customization has to have a higher price point. More than that, you also have to consider the value that the customer puts into it. Like, for example, one of the products that was mentioned here was the Korean sandwiches. I actually already ordered that before. So it's not just a Korean sandwich, it's also, let's say, for example, supporting PSJ, who is the name of the sandwich. That additional value that, let's say, a fan of PSJ will put into a product, making them willing to pay more for it, is an important consideration. So it's not just your value that you're giving it as an owner, but also the value that your clients or customers are probably giving onto the product. Other things that you can consider is competition. Obviously, how are your competitors pricing this? If all of the burgers are priced at 50 pesos and suddenly you're pricing it at 500 pesos, you need to explain why you're different from your competitors. And other things, other considerations, how many companies are offering the same thing? Are you a commodity business? Are you offering, let's say, for example, a soap? Are you competing with other products that are far more established? So there's a lot of different considerations when it comes to price. To summarize the answer to that, there's a lot of considerations when it comes to price, but it's not just the basic, which is like how much you're spending and how much you want to earn. There's also psychology, there's also strategy, and there's also like the long-term sustainability of a specific price. Hope that answers the question. Thanks, Earl. Thanks, Aisley.
Thank you for that, Miss RC. So, ayan. So, meron din tayong isa pang nag-raise ng hand, si Miss Azucena Tolentino. Miss Azucena, sige po.
Hello, good morning. Am I audible po?
So, ma'am, good morning. Yes po.
Yes po. Yan. So, actually, nasabi na po lahat ni Miss Archie. Ano po, but just to add po, in order for us to price our products correctly, you need to account for all the costs that you have incurred or will be incurring to be able to deliver your goods or your services to your market. Now, what are those costs? Basically, these are costs of direct materials, direct labor, and other overhead costs that can be further classified as either fixed cost or variable cost. From there po, you can set up your desired profit margin based on the level of supply and demand in the market. Also, if tumaas yung cost ng ingredients or yung delivery fee due to the continuous increase in fuel prices. So it can be 20%, 10%, 15%. At the end of the day, it's up to you. However, you should also consider that this level of profit can cover your operating expenses not directly attributable to your offered goods or services, meaning po your rent, your advertising expenses, your taxes, and others. So pricing is different from one business to another. Kaya it is vital for us to maintain a proper accounting of our cost kahit simple lang before we even start our operations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Azucena. So with that, we will be proceeding. Diyan na muna magtatapos ang open forum natin ng benchmarking. Later on, meron na naman tayong, we will once again open the floor for question and answers or discussion amongst the participants and sa mga speakers and sharers. So ayan, partner.
Okay, yes, thank you for that, AZD. Right now, we will begin the second part of our program and activity. Right now, I will be calling our first guest speaker. She is an educator, a licensed professional teacher, major in English in alternative learning school, senior high school. She also has units in master's degree in language and literature in Ateneo de Naga University, graduated AB Development Communication in the same school, founder and content creator of Orgulyo Kan Naga, a social media manager to various Facebook pages of both national and local businesses, managing partner at Adriana's Naga, a professional photographer, and she also mentored research on the impact of social media influencer on the local business in Naga City during the pandemic. So right now, without further ado, let me call on Miss Mitz Culvera for our first part of the second session.
Okay, hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Again, my name is Mitz Culvera. You can call me Mitz. My students call me Ma'am Mitz, so it's easier for them. I don't usually use my first name, Michelle. I'm not comfortable, but anyway, I'm proud of it as well. But anyway, let's go and start with my talk right now about social media marketing. The first time that Rose invited me for this talk, I was really excited because this is, apart from teaching, this is one of my passion, social media marketing. Not only do I have my own blog, but since I graduated from Ateneo de Naga University, I was able to maximize my learnings from the university. Kasi on my when I was in college, I was part of the thriving photographers and script writers. Although wala pang mga blogs noon, so I was given the chance to go back to my passion, my first love. So yan, let's go right ahead and discuss social media marketing to our business owners. As a business owner myself, I'm really proud that our business have come a long way through social media. So yan, social media marketing is a powerful way for businesses of all sizes to reach prospects and customers. So yan, kung may mga business owners na hindi naniniwala sa social media in order to thrive for businesses, I would really want this talk to be a way to encourage them to now try social media. Okay, kasi this is a powerful way. Our business is Adriana's Diner. We started in Iriga, pero prior to that, we already have started some businesses as well. Ayun, nag-start kami ng ukay-ukay. Ayan. Doon pa lang word of mouth. Okay lang naman sa Facebook, pero iba din kasi talaga yung consistently you have social media marketing to help your business. So in short, dun sa Adriana's Naga or Adriana's Diner, kasi we started in Iriga, wala kaming any way to advertise our business. Wala kasi yung market ko doon kasi I am born and raised in Naga. Although I already have Orgulyo Kan Naga prior to having Adriana's, konti lang yung followers ko doon. But I used my knowledge as a social media manager to focus more on how I can help the business kung ano man yung knowledge ko sa social media. So yan, powerful tool talaga siya. I'll discuss with you further. So yan, people use media to discover, to learn about, to follow, of course, your shop, your brand. And if you're not on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, of course, you are totally missing out kasi especially the pandemic, wala na halos mga taong nakikinig ng radyo or nanonood ng TV. Halos lahat tayo nakafocus na sa Facebook. In the morning, hindi pa tayo nagmumungog, hindi pa nagbe-breakfast, wala pang ibang gagawin. We pick up our phones, go to Facebook, and scroll. Yung stories, yung Instagram, doon na agad tayo sa YouTube. So it's really a highlight of our businesses to focus more on social media. Kasi even ako, I don't mind paying riders para i-deliver sa akin yung in-order ko. Lahat talaga yan in-order ko na on Facebook. Bihira na yung time na pupunta ako dun sa shop or sa store para kumain. Lahat yan, literally. I use social media and I make sure to order all my food through rider. Kasi yung rider kasi, babayaran mo lang siya in a very minimal amount. Tapos dadating na yan sa'yo. The only way that I can do that is by checking yung mga pages ng mga businesses. Sa page muna yan. Hindi na ako pupunta dun sa mismong store. Now, the great social media marketing may help you achieve extraordinary success. Okay, I can speak for my business as well in Adriana's kasi like what I mentioned before, wala akong kakilala sa Iriga when we were starting. Talagang my partner lives in Iriga, doon siya pinanganak, doon siya nakatira, pero ako wala. Pero ako yung social media manager. So, ang ginawa ko, prior to us opening our business, post lang ako ng post. Post. Kahit hindi ko kilala, pinasok ko ang mga buy and sell groups. Hindi ako nagbo-boost nun. Kasi we can actually pay Facebook to boost our post. Pero nun kasi, hindi ako naniniwala sa boosting. Mas more on, gusto ko organic yung papasok sa business ko. Organic posting, organic na mga engagement, lahat organic. So, sobrang kailangan mo lang talagang magtiyaga. Kasi magiging successful yung business natin once we are able to learn how to reach kung ano yung gusto ng tao. And social media is a very big help, especially right now na Especially right now na nasa pandemic tayo. Kulang na kulang yung very limited yung movement. Food business is a very good business this time of pandemic kasi essential ang pagkain. Even milk tea, essential siya. Our business is halo-halo. Pero it will be part of the essential goods kasi food siya. Hindi siya i-restrict. Kaya maganda yung business na food for as long as you are able to take good pictures, write good captions, and mag-engage ka sa mga followers mo. It will really help you grow your business. Ako, I single-handedly promoted our business organically using my knowledge sa social media. By the way, hindi ko naman pinag-aralan yung social media managing. It just came na parang ginagaya ko lang kung ano yung nakikita ko. Kasi I spend a lot of time in Facebook, especially nung time na nagsa-start ako. By the way, in Orgulyo Kan Naga, I started March 23, 2019. Kahit dahon sa kalsada, if I find it interesting, I'll post it. Just to make sure na may content ako. Kasi the only time na makikita ka ng tao is if may content ka. Sa page ko, I make sure that I post every day. Every day, kahit ano lang. Interesting or not interesting, basta meron lang. Kasi yung Facebook kasi may algorithm. I hope businesses would learn na dapat yung Facebook page natin, we focus on parang treating it as your shop or your store or yung online store. Kasi for as long as pupunta yung mga tao sa page mo, makikita walang laman. Ay, ang tagal na ng last post nito, baka sarado na. Baka hindi na sila active. Baka sarado sila ngayon. Pero pag nakita nila na ay okay, nagpo-post to, very active, dito na lang ako order, siguradong hindi masasayang yung oras ko dito. Sigurado ako na kapag dito ako umorder, may magre-reply sa akin kasi kaka-post lang. That's very important. Maganda na may ganun tayong mindset kasi ititreat natin yung page natin as tindahan. Kung sa tindahan natin, we need to make sure na open na yung door. May nakalagay na open sa pinto. Yan din dapat ang mindset natin sa page. Kasi lahat ng tao ngayon, halos tamad nang pumunta. And sometimes, most of the time, ako na-experience ko to personally. Me and my partner, siya yung owner ng Adriana's Diner. Prior to us opening our own business, mahilig din talaga kaming kumain. Tapos, minsan pupunta kami sa malayong lugar para kumain. And then only to find out na sarado pala. Tapos, sabi ng owner, bakit hindi po kayo nag-check sa page bago kayo pumunta dito? So, dun ko na-realize na, oh my God, I'm a social media manager and I failed to check their page. Kaya parang pumunta ako doon and sayang lang yung gas namin kasi sobrang layo niya. So yun, kailangan na i-treat natin yung page natin sa Facebook and Instagram as our physical store. Kasi doon magbe-base ang mga tao kung bukas ka, kung active ka, kung ano yung mga pagkain mo. If you are in a food business, make sure po na mag-upload tayo ng menu. Meron namang part doon sa Facebook na yung isa sa mga tabs nila is menu. Para pag pumunta yung customers sa page nyo, makikita na kaagad kung ano yung mga food na sinuserve nyo and how much. Kanina po narinig ko na you consider yung mga yung mga prices nyo. Of course, kasi number one, kino-consider din talaga siya ng customers. Pero as a customer din, we don't mind paying for as long as quality yung isa-serve. And pasok na natin yung social media marketing requires an evolving strategy with measurable goals. And this includes maintaining and optimizing your profiles. Tulad po ng sabi ko, if you are in a food business, sana meron tayong menu na nakalagay. And sana yung profile natin is in line din sa business natin. Please do not leave your page na nakalagay always open. Sa Facebook page kasi may nakalagay duman always open. Pero ang business hours mo lang talaga is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it will mislead your customers. Ay, bukas pa to, tapos o-order sila any time of the day. Parang we are misleading them. Madali lang naman pong ayusin yan. Nasa page lang siya, i-edit mo lang yung profile mo. You can choose the business hours that you want. Kasi madali lang siyang i-edit or i-amend. Basta gawin mo lang dun sa page na yon. Don't make it na always open kasi it will not help your business. It will just mislead them. Especially right now na ang dami na ding nocturnal na panggabi lang gising. Tapos nag-aantay sila. Tapos magkakaroon ng bad experience. Sabi daw always open pero closed naman pala. Walang nagre-reply. So dapat i-optimize natin yung profile natin. And we need to take good pictures, post good pictures, videos, stories, so that we can attract relevant audience. It is very important po to take good pictures. Ang always kong sinasabi sa mga nagpapablog sa akin, kasi I give them some tips. Number 1 po yung pictures. Dapat po pag nag-post tayo ng picture, yung enticing naman. And yung realistic. Meron din kasing nagpo-post, diba, nakaka-disappoint na, ano ba to? Parang ang sarap-sarap sa picture, tapos pagpunta mo, hindi pala totoo. So we are misleading them na naman. So I would strongly suggest, if you want to take pictures, mas maganda kung ang iti-take nating picture is yung real picture talaga na i-serve natin sa customer. Para yun, parang what you see is what you get. And please do not post pictures na madilim. Kasi kapag madilim, parang hindi siya maganda. Aesthetically, it's not good. It's really not good. Parang pangit siyang tignan. Sorry for the term, but that's the easiest, that's the most convenient term that I can use. Dapat po maliwanag. Anuhan natin yung lighting. It doesn't have to be very professional, pero at least makita lang nila ang content mo na maliwanag. Kasi 'di ba, ang gusto ng mga tao ngayon Instagrammable, yung pupunta sila sa place mo, tapos makakapag-take sila ng pictures. And by the way, speaking of Instagrammable, maganda po na ang location natin is they can also take pictures. Kung meron po kayong mga logo that they can take pictures to, mas maganda po 'yun kasi it is actually free advertising on your part. Kung halimbawa yan sa milk tea, ang gaganda na ng mga milk teas ngayon. Like si Boaty and Company, they have been a client of mine once. Sobrang bilib ako sa kanila kasi talagang ang syala ng dating nila, yet affordable, tapos masarap. Tapos pag maganda kasi yung ginagamit mong baso and then you have your logo printed on it, magte-take ng pictures ang mga tao and it's a free advertisement for you. Kasi makikita nila, saan yung Boaty and Company na, saan yan? Boaty and Co, saan yan? Parang masarap yan. Tapos yun, magko-comment doon, saan yan? Masarap ba? So it's a free advertisement on your end. Yun din yung ginagawa namin sa Adriana's. Kasi kapag may nag-take na ng pictures, dire-diretso na yan. And ayan, ito pa, ginagawa to ng most of the successful vloggers, and yung kung sino pa mang influencers. Nagko-comment, nag-share, and monitor ang likes and yung reputation ng page. Kasi mas maganda na yung post mo, may mag-comment, and makipag-engage ka. It is very important kasi as long as nagko-comment ka dun sa page or sa comment, nagre-reply ka dun sa comments, umaakyat yung post mo. Yun yung tinatawag na up. Di ba may makikita ka sa mga comments minsan, up. Kasi umaakyat yung engagement mo, nakikita ka ulit sa newsfeed. Katulad ng mga balita ngayon, if they want to, parang gusto nilang balikan yung mga news before, may nagko-comment lang dun ng up. Tapos umaakyat ulit, lumalabas ulit. A post from 2016, umakyat siya ulit kasi may nag-comment doon. Ganun yung gawin natin. So if someone leaves a comment on your post, please take time to reply. Kunyari, naghihingi ng menu. Huwag nating isipin na, ay, wag ko nang i-reply ng menu to. May nakalagay na ng menu dyan, hindi. Tapos i-reply ko na naman. No. Kasi may mga tao talagang tamad lang na ayaw nang tumingin. May mga tao din na hindi din nila alam na meron na pala doon. It doesn't hurt na i-post or i-reply natin yung menu natin. It will help you your business. Ay, okay, thank you po sa reply mo. And then, o-order na yan. Kung hindi man yan o-order, babalikan niya yan. Kung hindi man yung tao na yon ang order, may taong o-order na nakakita ng comment mo. Hindi yan automatic pag-post mo ngayon, may return ka na kaagad ng benta. Hindi sa pag-post mo ngayon, may bibili na kaagad. Kasi sometimes it will still take time. Basta as long as may kita nila. Kasi halimbawa, gusto mong kumain ng halo-halo. Parang may nakita akong halo-halo na post. Hanapin ko nga, parang yung friend ko, si Ma'am Mitz nag-post nung halo-halo. Puntahan ko nga si Ma'am Mitz. Tapos yun, dire-diretso na yun. Okay? Mas maganda po na yung mga pictures natin na ipopost, as much as possible, fresh siya. Hindi ko naman sinasabing araw-araw mag-take kayo ng pictures kasi sobrang daming ginagawa ng business owners. The reason why I have a job right now, apart from being a teacher, is because I have clients na mga business owners na they can no longer afford to go to their Facebook pages. Yun yung isa sa mga trabaho ko ngayon. I manage pages for business owners na marami akong clients dito sa Naga. Kasi sabi nila, ma'am, wala na akong time para dyan. I don't have that creativity to think of captions every day. Ikaw na ang bahala dyan. Wala akong oras dyan. Hindi ko rin alam kung paano mag-edit ng photo. So, ang ginagawa nila, welcome yun sa business namin. Especially yung mga yung mga business owners po natin na enrolled sa Foodpanda. Hindi sa inaano ko sila, ina-advertise. Pero nag-o-offer sila ng free photoshoot sa mga customers nila. Walang bayad yon, but of course you have to prepare your food for it para ma-take ng picture. So I strongly suggest i-maximize nyo yung photographer na pupunta doon. Huwag tayong aasa sa Foodpanda lang na photographer. Might as well, kumuha ka din ng sarili mong camera or kumuha ka din ng sarili mong cellphone, take pictures na din kasabay ni Foodpanda. Para apart dun sa pictures si Foodpanda, by the way si Foodpanda kasi konti lang talaga yung binibigay niyang pictures. So, kailangan mong sumabay para hindi masayang yung ginastos mo doon sa pag-serve mo ng food para mapicturean. Sumabay ka na, take pictures. Ganyan yung ginagawa ko sa business namin. Pupunta si Foodpanda, serve kami ng food para magpicture, sumasabay na ako. Kung pwede pa na 2 camera ang gagamitin ko tapos 2 pang cellphone para iba-iba yung angle tapos iba-iba din yung parang resolution. Maganda yon kasi parang nagkakaroon ng illusion na ang dami-dami mong pictures. Kasi yung mga tao, pag parating pare-pareho na din yung pinopost mong picture, hindi na nila yan papansinin kasi ay nakita ko na to kahapon, ay nakita ko na to nung isang araw. Pero proven and tested ko na po sa 3 branches namin, basta bago yung picture, bagong angle, bago yung lighting, parang akala mo bago na naman yung produkto, papasukin na naman siya. And your caption should be short and sweet. Kung magbo-boost ka po ng post, kasi hindi natin maiiwasan, kailangan nating mag-boost ng post. Ako ginagawa ko na yun ngayon kasi I have a full-time job, wala na akong time para matutukan lahat ng yan. Nagbo-boost kami ng post. Ang maganda sa pag-boost ng post, you have 3 options on how you can boost your post. Depende po sa gusto mo. Number 1, pwede kang mag-boost ng post and ang target mo is makakuha ng more messages sa inbox para maraming umorder. Maganda yan. Pwede ka ring mag-boost ng post na ang target mo is makakuha ng maraming engagement. Pwede ka ring mag-boost ng post na automatic si Facebook na ang mag-check kung ano ang target na gusto mo. Automatic, wala kang specific na gusto. And ang suggestion ko po sa mga business owners kung mag-boost kayo, i-target, please do not ever forget to edit kung ano yung target audience mo. Kasi importante po yun. May nagbo-boost kasi ng post na nasa Philippines. Pag-check mo, nasa Samar, nasa Mindanao, nasa Visayas, nasa Manila. Eh yung business natin, nasa Naga lang naman. Nasa Metro Naga lang naman. Or we don't even cater customers na outside Naga. So, please make sure po na ang business natin ay pag-boost natin ng post, nakafocus lang doon sa target audience kung sino yung gusto natin. Kasi pwede yun. And yung interest po, please pakipalitan. Na-overlook kasi ng mga ng mga business owners. Makikita nyo po doon na yung interest niya, nakalagay doon minsan Louis Vuitton bag, nakalagay doon kimchi, panfilolacson. Pero in reality, we are selling our food products. And walang kinalaman doon si kimchi. So yun po ang nakikita ko always na nagiging problema ng mga business owners. Hindi nila chine-check yung automatic na naka-set ni Facebook. Be very tedious po kasi sayang ng pera sa pag-boost kung hindi natin mafo-focus yung target market natin. Which is kung ang target market natin is between 18 to 65 years old, make sure po. And kung gusto mo lang naman dayuhin yung store mo ng within Metro Naga, yung yung ratio po ng business na kung nasaan yung business natin, yun lang yung piliin natin. Minsan kasi yung ratio hindi na pinapalitan. Minsan hanggang sa Legazpi City, hanggang sa Samar, hanggang sa kung saan pa man. Palitan po natin yan kasi sayang, useless yan. Gumagastos ka for nothing. Okay? Now let's go to I hope you're catching up ng mga sinasabi ko. But anyway, we can proceed with our experiences as business owners. Of course, we have struggles and we have successes as well. Number one, ito pinag-ano ko na lang. Struggle namin nung first time na nagsa-start kami is yung funds. Wala kaming pera. It was pandemic. I was teaching in Biscas that time. Konting-konti lang yung naibigay sa akin na subject. So, dirinap ko na lang siya. Nag-isip ako ng kung ano-anong business para pasukin. But because of the pandemic, dahil po sa pandemic, kaya kami na-push to open a business kasi na-realize namin, itong pandemic na to, food lang ang hindi nire-restrict ng gobyerno. Food lang ang pinapayagan nilang magbenta. Lahat ng businesses nagsara. Sakto noon, may nakainan kaming halo-halo na sobrang bumongga siya nung summer na yun. And tinanong namin kung anong oras sila bukas. Sakto sabi nila, ay ma'am, sa June po, sarado na kami. Kamay mga klase na ang mga aki. Every summer lang po kami nagtitinda, patok na patok ang halo-halo pag summer. So we had that idea. Don't be afraid na magsabi na nakuha ko yung inspiration sa ganitong business kasi lahat naman tayo kumukuha ng inspiration. It's just that we need to make sure kung paano tayo magiging unique compared doon sa naging inspiration namin. Wala kaming funds noon. Pero meron kasi ako nung naging teaching job na naging stepping stone namin. Yun ang dahilan, yun ang naging dahilan kung bakit hindi ako nakapag-continue ng master's ko sa Ateneo kasi yung pang-tuition ko, yung pang-enroll ko, pinasok namin yung funds dito sa business na to. And because of that, isa sa mga successes namin is yung financial freedom. Siyempre, maglalabas ka talaga. And we are very proud to say, hindi po kami nag-loan, hindi kami nangutang. Kung ano lang yung konting mga pumapasok sa benta namin, sa mga iba naming mga racket. Kasi I'm a blogger, marami ring nagbabayad sa akin noon, pakonti-konti. Kahit 1,000 pesos, bumili ka na ng baso. Kahit may 500 ka dyan, bumili ka na ng kutsara. So yun, nagkaroon kami ng financial freedom. Pero hindi, tulad nung nabanggit nga kanina, hindi po Pasko araw-araw. Okay? But we need to make sure na i-focus natin yung funds natin sa kung ano yung kailangan. Struggle, kanina nabanggit din to sa pag-handle ng staff. ako ang naka-assign sa pagkuha ng staff. Nasa recruitment ako ng business side namin. Ako yung naghahanap ng mga staff namin. And tama yung sinabi kanina, pag mas matanda at mas may alam yung staff mo, mahirap talagang pakisamahan. Pero you need to treat them as a family. Family member yan. Ayaw namin, hindi kami talaga kumukuha ng sobrang galing. Hindi. We only have 3 requirements. Number 1, dapat trustworthy ka, mapagkakatiwalaan. Number 2, dapat team player ka. Hindi ka pikon or hindi ka nangaaway. Tapos yung attitude mo maayos. Number 3, dapat maayos lang yung attendance. Hindi namin kailangan na may experience ka. Kailangan lang namin ng 3 bagay para yung staff namin would be treated as a family. Kasi pag na-feel mo na you are parang you are loved and pinapahalagan ka doon sa pinagtatrabahuhan mo, makikip mo yung mga yung employees mo, yung staff mo, hindi ka iiwan. Number 3, na struggle weather in a halo-halo business. Tapos maulan. Walang gustong kumain ng halo-halo. Ang mga cravings ng tao from halo-halo pumupunta ng mainit yan. Nagiging halo-halo to goto yan. Halo-halo to lomi. Halo-halo to food. Halo-halo to sisig. Pero kailangan nating maging versatile. Noong time na nakikita na namin na wala na kami halos benta, konting-konti na lang, minsan bawing-bawi na lang for staff na pumapasok sa araw na yon, doon na namin na-realize na we need to add some products. So yun, hindi naman sa Philippines kasi may 2 tayong weather eh. Sunny, yung summer, tsaka yung rainy. So kailangan mong maging versatile. Even yung ibang halo-halo business dito, nag-start lang naman sila ng halo-halo eh. Pero dahil meron tayong rainy season sa Philippines, kailangan nating magbenta ng iba. And ayan na. So yun, isa sa mga struggles and success. We are very proud to say na yung business namin nag-start sa Iriga, Feb 28, 2021. Tapos 3 branches na siya ngayon. Lahat ng 3 branches na yon, wala kaming ibang ginawa kundi mag-post lang ng mag-post sa Facebook. And nagamit ko yung page kong Orgulyo Kan Naga to help our business. Bakit ko po nasasabi na malaking bagay ang social media? Doon po sa 3 branches namin, pare-pareho lang siya ng tinda. Pero ang Naga City, ang Naga branch namin, ang tinda namin, halo-halo, pasta, and snacks lang. Wala pa kaming meals, wala kaming burger. Pero Adriana's Naga, ang pinakamaraming benta so far. Siya ang pinaka-successful kasi I would like to believe na dahil yan sa appetite ng mga taga-Naga to eat. And at the same time, ang market ko kasi nasa Naga. Kahit walang nagre-react sa post mo, huwag kang madisgana, huwag kang ma-discourage kasi may nakakakita at may nakakakita niyan. So, pag na-post ko na yung business namin sa Orgulyo, nagrereklamo na ang mga staff niyan. Ma'am Mitz, nag-post ka na naman ba sa Orgulyo? Sabi ko, bakit? Kasi matatangkas na daang kalagninda sa hawak, sa sobrang kapagalan, na tigdudumog siya. Pero pag hiniling ko si post ko mismo sa Orgulyo Kan, share ko, kadidikit mo lang kang nag-react. So, dahil kita madisganar kung guraano kadikit o kaluya si nag-engage sa post kasi may makakahiling ka iyan. May mga makakakita niyan and yun ang importante. We have 3 businesses pero yung 2, okay naman sila, maganda naman yan. Maganda pa naman yung pasok ng customers. Pero iba din talaga sa Naga. Just because nandito yung pinakamalaking market kasi namin. So, ayan, consistency is the key. Again, like what I mentioned, bilang vlogger and business owner, ito lang talagang 3 to ang naging puhunan ko. Great photos. Pagandahin lang ang mga pictures, relevant captions. Kung uso ang term na marites, gamitin ang marites. Kung uso ang term na withdraw, gamitin ang withdraw. Kung ano yung uso ngayon, yun ang gamitin natin. Kasi yun ang nagiging, kumbaga nagiging in siya. And based po doon sa nagawa kong research, this is a legit research po with business owners dito sa Naga and sa mga consumers. Mas gusto nila na ang mga captions is Bicol din. Para makikita nila na, okay, Bicol, belong ako dito, at home ako dito, nandito lang to nearby, wala to sa Manila. Kasi pag masyadong ma-English ka, karamihan yung mga to, ay English, baka naman ang mahal nito. Pag Tagalog naman, ay Tagalog, baka nasa Manila to. Pero pag Bicol, ay wow, nasaan to? Baka nandyan lang to. Malapit lang to. Hindi to magbibicol kung nasa Manila to. And they will feel na at home sila and they will feel na affordable to. So yun, sana may natutunan tayo dito and make sure na balance yan lahat. Hindi pwedeng, ako sa page ko sa Orgulyo, hindi pwedeng puro business ko na lang. Hindi pwedeng puro shared post lang ako. Hindi pwedeng isa lang. Dapat may balance lahat ng bagay. Kung ano yung ipopost mo, kung ano yung napapanahon, i-balance lang. Don't overdo it. And as well, ito lang masasabi ko parati sa mga customers ko, ay sa mga sa mga clients ko and sa mga business owners. Out of sight, out of mind. Parang Jollibee. Sikat na, 'di ba? Pero every time na magko-commercial, Jollibee at Jollibee. Pag tag-ulan, puro ang makikita mo dyan sa commercial ni Jollibee, sopas. Pag sobrang init, ang makikita mo naman dyan yung mga floats nila. So yun, balance and dapat po napapanahon. Yun lang. That's it for me, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Ma'am Mitz, for sharing your knowledge and expertise and experiences with regards to especially the social media marketing. Sigurado makakatulong to sa ating mga business owners as well. Right, partner?
Yan, tama, Mac. So for our next guest speaker naman, she is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Marketing Management at the Ateneo de Naga University, and also the former officer in charge of the Information and Education Division of Arts, Culture, and Tourism Office of the City Government of Naga. Also, she is formerly the Credit Officer 2, now the Project Evaluation Officer 2 and Section Head of Enterprise Development Center of Metro Naga, PESO. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Ms. BJ Veluz De Asis.
Okay. Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, ma'am. Yes po, loud and clear.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to thank, good morning to Dr. Malu Barciliano, the Dean of Ateneo de Naga University College Graduate School and the Director of ADNU Center for Local Governance, and also to the previous speaker, si Miss Mitz Culvera. And then the entrepreneurs and class of MBA 233, Operations and Systems Management. Thank you very much, especially to Ms. Rose Lopo Lara for the invitation. Aside from my profile na nakikita ninyo, I am also an advocate of gender and development of City Government of Naga, and I am also an advocate of SOGI, the sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. My name is Benjamin Jose Veluz De Asis. You may call me BJ, and yes, I'm a transgender. And because of that, I would like to thank the city government also for allowing people like me to be part of the city government. Okay, so let's start. I'm from Metro PESO. I'm the in charge of livelihood of the Enterprise Development Center. We are basically helping SMEs. So far, our program, we have the Angat Kabuhayan program. That's actually the regular financial loan assistance Normally, ang mga beneficiaries natin or ang mga clients natin, ito yung mga sari-sari store, ito yung mga tawag nito, yung mga mga piggeries, yung mga backyards, mga ganun, mga farmers. Metro Naga PESO, through our division, the ABC, we aim to improve the socio-economic well-being of the low-income population. As I have mentioned, these are the sari-sari stores, these are the online sellers, these are the peddlers. But we also have clients na mga medyo malalaki na, but normally, ang ina-accept lang talaga namin yung mga below 3 million yung assets. Kasi if you go beyond that, you're no longer an SME. We already referred those clients to DTI. Next slide, please. Okay, for the Angat Kabuhayan, let me just explain this to you first, the regular program. Kasi if you do not fall for the special programs, we have the regular program. So for you to be able to apply for loan assistance, you have to be a resident of Naga. Of course, this is the city government of Naga, so the programs are for the residents of Naga City. And you must be 18 years old and above because you're going to enter into contract. And by law, you must be at least 18 years old. And you must not be an employee of the city government. But we have special clients who are government employees also. We allow them because they are members of the solo parents, they are the members of certain organizations like PWDs. We allow that. And then the next qualification is that you must not have an existing or overdue loan sa amin, sa Metro PESO. And then, of course, since this is loan assistance for your business, you must have an existing business. Or if not, this is going to be used as a startup capital. You also need to have just one co-maker na hindi related sa iyo or sa applicant. It should not be a spouse. It should not be a parent. It should not be children. But we already allow cousins and uncles, aunties, ganon. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the requirements for loan assistance for Angat Kabuhayan. Of course, the application form sa pag-utang, that's for the principal borrower. And there is a separate application form for the co-maker, and it should be notarized kapag isa-submit na sa amin. We also need a photocopy of the government-issued IDs. Now, this is actually very important. Kailangan natin ang government-issued IDs. So pag sinabing government-issued IDs, ito yung mga SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and it's very important na reflected yung address because one of the requirements or qualifications that you should be a resident of Naga. So it should be reflected on your ID na ang address mo is Naga City. Then we are also requiring picture, of course, the latest, para naman alam namin kung anong itsura ninyo. And then for the principal borrower, yung minimum kasi namin na pinapaloan is 3,000 to 5,000 for the beginners. However, if you have mayor's permit, we require the current mayor's permit. If not naman, we allow naman yung barangay business permit. And we also need the barangay clearance of the co-maker. Next, please. Okay. So, Angat Kabuhayan, we allow our clients are, as I've mentioned earlier, these are the sari-sari store, online businesses, buy and sell. And ang term niya is for 3 months and you have to pay for it in a monthly basis. For farming, it's 4 months pero lump sum siya. And for our piggery or livestock, we allow 6 months. It is also lump sum. Next, please. Okay. Now, for Angat Kabuhayan, it is 1% interest per month. So what we have is a sample for Sari-Sari store. As I mentioned, it is 3 months installment. So for example, you are already one of our loyal clients and tumaas na yung credit standing mo. We are now allowing you 25,000 pesos for loans. So the computation is that 25,000 times 1% is 250 pesos times 3 months. So the interest alone is going to be 750. As compared to the banks, I think they're around 12 to 13%. Pero with us, it's only 1%. So yung 750 mo plus yung 25,000 na principal, you divide that into 3 months, your monthly bill is 8,583.33, which you're going to pay for the next 3 months. Now, the first payment is going to be exactly 30 days after, 30 days from the check date. So, if you go beyond the first 30 days, there is going to be a 2% penalty. Next, please. Ito naman po yung sample natin for corn production. As I've mentioned, it's 4 months lump sum ang term natin. So you can see the figures. The interest is still going to be 250 pesos times 4 months. Still, there's going to be a penalty of 2%. Next, please. Okay, so here is our sample. If your business naman is piggery, if the principal is to 25,000, the interest is still going to be 250,000, but it's for 6 months and it's going to be lump sum. So as you can see on the figures, the amount due is going to be 26,500, but you're going to pay that on the 6th month from the check date. So again, there is going to be a penalty of 2%. Next, please. Okay, so yung previous natin, yung Angat Kabuhayan, that's the regular program. That has been going on since the 1990s. I can attest that since I only started with Metro PESO in 2019, I could attest na ang daming natulungan ng regular, ng Angat Kabuhayan program ng Metro PESO. Now, when the pandemic hit, maraming lumapit sa amin na mga businesses, whether they are in the tourism industry, whether they are on other sectors, yung mga maliliit nating mga kababayan na kailangan na, kasi hindi sila nakakalabas, kinulang talaga sila ng budget. We also have clients who are owners of car wash, restaurants na medyo sikat din sa Naga na lumapit sa atin. That's why si Councilor Joe Perez, through his initiatives, and of course through the directives of Mayor Nelson Legacion, the Naga City Business Stimulus Program was established. This is to help the qualified small businesses to survive the COVID-19 pandemic. We really have to admit that everybody is affected by the COVID-19, by the lockdown. That's why yung mga online businesses, yung mga deliveries, mga ganon, nag-strive talaga during the lockdown because we don't go out. Unfortunately, there are other businesses na established already but they are not engaged in online business. Kinailangan talaga nila ng additional capital kasi yung iba hindi naman tumigil yung expenses, especially on rental. So may rental expense, merong supplies expense, pero walang pumapasok na income. So When we established the business stimulus program, it was actually a blast. From 2020 to 20 until the end of December, until the end of 2021, we are able to help 507. That includes businesses and their employees. So the business stimulus program is not just for the businesses, but it is also for the employees who are residents also of Naga. And with the 507 establishments and employees, we are able to loan 9,975,000. The allotted budget for that was 10 million, and at the end of 2021, we only had 25,000. But before we entered the calendar year 2022, we are also allotted additional 5 million. So doon sa medyo nahihirapan pa din and kailangan ng additional capital, the city government of Naga through Metro PESO is here to help you through the business stimulus program. So next please, next slide please. Next slide, please. Okay. So the Naga City Business Stimulus Program, this is actually established through a city ordinance. So for you to be able to qualify for the business stimulus program, you must be operating before the pandemic. The date that we are following is actually the lockdown. So yun yung date na fina-follow natin na nag-start in COVID-19 pandemic. Now, one of the eligibilities is that you at least need to have one employee. As I've mentioned, you must be a resident of Naga City. And the spouse, the children, the parents, and siblings of the owner, of the person na nakalagay sa mayor's permit, hindi po sila considered as employees. No? Kasi same household, we don't allow that po. Now, this is the major requirement. We need the mayor's permit from at least 2019 to the present. Kailangan nakalagay sa 2019 mayor's permit renewed, or kung bago naman yung business permit naman nakalagay is new on 2019, we need to have it parang registered dapat before March 14 of 2019. Then we are going to accept your application. Yung business, actually any type of business. It could be in wholesale, it could be in retail. We are also able to help tourism services. Meron kaming client na tour operation, travel and tour operation agency. Kasi syempre walang travel, walang tours. So may employees siya, may mga expenses sila. Nung una hindi na-approve kasi parang hindi pa ready, parang what's the point of approving, hindi ka naman mag-ooperate. But it is actually the perfect timing for that particular business na mag-diversify into a different line of business, pero somehow related pa rin sa tourism. Nag-engage sila into food delivery. Ginamit nila yung vans for transport ng goods within Naga City and within Bicol region. They had a permit for that, and they were able to be successful with that. And ngayon na paunti-unti na bumabalik ang turismo, paunti-unti na rin silang nakakabalik sa original nilang line of business. Ang number one talaga namin na clients are those who are in the food industry. Kasi ito yung necessity siya. And marami talagang lumabas, especially lumabas kasi yung mga tawag nito, yung talents ng mga taga-Naga pagdating sa pagluluto. And they are able to sell it online also. Unfortunately, we were caught up kasi ng biglaan. So yung karamihan sa clients namin, hindi sila prepared, hindi sila nakapag-ipon, wala silang pang startup. So we help them with the business stimulus program kasi yung iba talaga, may existing na talaga silang negosyo. Kailangan lang nilang i-improve and kailangan lang nilang mag-innovate. As I've mentioned before, ang hindi natin inaalaw ang business with more than 3 million pesos na asset because we have a partner for that. We have the DTI. And then for you to be able to be eligible, you must not have availed similar program from the other government or from the other programs of the city government of Naga. Next, please. Okay, so what is the business stimulus program? The business stimulus program is a zero interest loan assistance. Zero, as in walang patong. Basically, parang pamigay na lang din ito. But of course, this is, since utang po ito, kailangan nating bayaran. So kung wala man tayong interest, of course, meron po tayong penalty. Okay? Now, since it's zero interest po ito, this is actually payable in 1 year. Kung yung angat kabuhayan natin, payable siya in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, depende sa business. Ang stimulus program po, kahit anong negosyo mo, kahit anong gaano kalaki, gaano kaliit, basta pasok kayo, basta eligible kayo, babayaran po ninyo ang business stimulus program loan ninyo in 1 year. That's 12 months. And the first payment is going to be 1 month after the lifting of the nationally imposed community quarantine or 6 months from the release of loan, whichever comes first. Now, for the past 2 years, ito yung ang pina-follow muna namin is the 6 months from release of loan. Kasi medyo malabo na ma-lift kaagad yung quarantine natin. But for now, hopefully, ma-lift na yung community quarantine. But if not, it's going to be 6 months pa rin from the release of loan. So, ibig sabihin, kung nag-loan ka ng January, bibilang tayo ng 6 months. Magbibilang tayo ng 6 months, pero magbabayad ka on the 7th month. So, that's going to be July. And from July of 2022 until June of 2021, yun po yung babayaran ninyo na 0% interest, as in zero. So this is actually a very good program. As I have mentioned, we are able to cater 507 already, 507 individuals. Okay, next please. Okay. So for the amount of loan naman, it actually depends on the credit standing, on the initial capital of the business, and it also depends on the number of employees. Because like what I mentioned, BSP is not just for the businesses, but it is also to protect the employees who are residents of Naga. So for if you have 1 employee, you are entitled for a maximum loan of 25,000. If you have 2 workers, that's 50,000. For 3 employees, you have 75,000. And if you have more of 4 or more, that's going to be 100,000. Next, please. Okay. Next na tayo. So what are the requirements? Number 1, same with the Angat Kabuhayan, we have the forms. You can actually get the forms online sa Metro Naga PESO page in Facebook. You could also send a message sa Facebook page natin and meron naman magre-reply. We normally send a PDF file. But as far as I remember, we are able to post it online also sa City Government of Naga page in Facebook. So aside from the forms, of course, the co-maker form, it should be notarized and together with, kailangan po may picture, okay? Now, as I mentioned earlier, we need the mayor's permit. Sa mayor's permit po, depende po kasi sa situation. Hindi ko na ito na-edit, pero that should be 2019 until the present. Ngayon, there are actually clients na merong mayor's permit ng 2019, wala silang mayor's permit ng 2020, 21 kasi nag-lockdown, so hindi sila nakapag-operate. But here comes 2022, meron na silang mayor's permit. On my part, on the Metro PESO part, we accept that. We approve the loan application. Kasi after namin i-approve, pinapasok po yan sa board. And normally, na-approve naman ni board. Basta ang importante lang sa atin, yung mayor's permit natin ng 2019 or the business is operating prior the pandemic or prior the lockdown. That's why the 2019 mayor's permit is very important. Okay? So it's like the Angat Kabuhayan, we also need the government issued ID with Naga City address and then barangay clearance for the co-maker. Next, please. Now, these are actually the supporting documents na kailangan natin. Kailangan natin yung ID, government-issued ID ng employee. Kung halimbawa po, 4 yung employees ninyo, kasi may pagkakataon po talaga na dun sa 4 na employee ninyo, meron dun 2 or 1 or probably 3 na taga outside Naga. Ang importante po at least 1 doon sa mga empleyado ninyo is actually a resident of Naga City. So we are requiring government-issued ID for the employees and with at least 1 employee na resident ng Naga. Okay? Now we also need the payroll of the employees for at least the previous 3 months. This is also our proof na yung employees na yon are really employed. And we also need the GMI or the gross monthly income for the last 3 months. Next, please. Okay, so for the implementation of the BSP, like what I mentioned, you can get the application form sa page or sa office namin, and then you have the requirements. You submit the requirements to us. But upon submission po kasi ng requirement sa amin, right there and then you could ask my staff. We have doon naman sa office, may front desk naman kami, and lahat naman po ng members ng Team EDC are well informed